It's a special edition of Training Camp Live presented by American Airlines alongside Super Bowl champion Isaiah Stanback. I'm Kyle Youmans. The Rams are in town. That means there are extra Training Camp Lives. Let's go to the tail end of some team drills here. We're about to get into Redzone work, Isaiah. You were on another episode of this today with Tommy Yarish with the Cowboys defense. This is the Cowboys offense. Will Greer thought about letting it go deep, but got hit from behind, dumps it off to Jaden Blue. What have you seen so far out of this Cowboys offense?
So far, Kyle, if I'm being 100 with you, right now the offensive line, is having their hands full right now. They obviously have Verse out there opposing them. They got Ernest Young. These guys have a solid front seven that these guys are going to be challenged by. We have a couple injuries, obviously, on the offensive line. Guys have to step up, but these are all great reps. The time that Dak and company has had opportunity to actually sit back with time, they've delivered some balls for some big completions.
Awesome Richards is the left tackle here. This is the second team offensive line against the second string defense for the Rams. Another play action bootleg. Greer in the flat to Princeton Fant. That's Bull getting in on the action. Cowboys have utilized their tight ends. Ferguson with a nice grab early in team drills. Those wide receivers have been active. CeeDee Lamb has seen a couple of good grabs as well. But like you said, the offensive line is really where it starts, where you want to see a tick forward for that Cowboys team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, this is being a team that wants to establish a run game. You have to be able to create some running lanes. And what we're seeing right now, the Rams, these guys are coming out in these wide nine techniques. They're doing a lot of what Mike Zimmer used to do as far as walking those linebackers up into the A-gaps, where it makes it really challenging to figure out what your assignment is going to be. But these guys have to just start moving some guys out the way.
Oh, that's a free play. Hard count from Greer. Got a defender to jump off sides on the opposite end from the Rams.
You know who was mad about that one?
Who's that?
Mingo. Jonathan Mingo. Yeah, he had man-to-man on that one. He was hoping that play actually played through. He would have had a nice opportunity on a nice seam route versus cover one.
That was Keir Thomas, who was the guilty party jumping offside for the Rams. Rams have had a lot of young talent added to their roster over the last few drafts. Of course, we talked about what they did with Jared Verse last year, but some of the guys they've even added in past years have looked good. Ty Hamilton has had a good camp so far for the Rams. Chris Paul Jr., the linebacker out of Memphis, has had a good camp. He was a Shrine Bowl guy. You got to call the Shrine Bowl with them. They've got plenty of talent out of their draft class, just like Dallas is excited about.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's why you do these practices, these joint practices, scrimmages, whatever you want to refer to them as. You have an opportunity to really see where your guys are compared to the other guys in the league. It's one thing to compete against other professionals that are within your team, but it's a whole other deal when you come out against different schemes, personnel groupings, and personnel when you're playing against opposing teams.
Here goes Greer again. Plenty of time this time. Finds Jalen Brooks, who had a long touchdown grab early in camp. Or early in the practice, I should say.
That's another big completion, and the reason why that he's able to happen is because you guys are actually protecting on that one. You want to see this offensive line continue to gel and come together as one. Well, obviously you're rotating your ones, you're rotating your twos. You have to try to find some continuity out here, regardless of what lineup is out there.
Flanoy, Brooks, Cropper are the receivers with Jaden Blue and Princeton Fant in the formation. Excuse me, that's Rivaldo Fairweather on the opposite side. Had a guy open. Flanoy had his man beat, but the pocket collapses. Greer had to escape.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys are winning their one-on-one matchups whenever they get that single high safety. You just got to make sure you have enough protection to have time to get it to them.
Let's get into a little bit of red zone work, shall we?
I'm all about that, Kyle. Things get tighter in the red zone. Less time to get the ball off, smaller windows. Decisions have to be made faster in the red zone. That's what they're going to be trying to work on right now.
Like you said, less time to get things rolling, but we're getting rolling here in some red zone work. The first team is up. Dak Prescott under center, and then Javonte Williams gets the handoff. He was listed as the first team running back on the unofficial depth chart that was released today. Good to see him. Change of direction, working back outside.
Had some laundry on the field. I think that one would have came back, some kind of holding call out there when he reversed fields, but again, he had to avoid somebody in that backfield. The Rams defensive line, and unfortunately, is getting some action and on the wrong side of the line of scrimmage for us right now.
4 of the 5 starting offensive linemen in the fold. Tyler Smith back at practice today. Cooper Beebe at center. Tyler Booker at right guard, and then Terrence Steele at right tackle. The left tackle is Nate Thomas. CD, George Pickens, both in the fold. They go right back to the ground. This time it's Jaden Blue. And Blue goes all the way to the ground. Poona Ford on top.
That's a big fella in the middle.
It
Forward,
is.
yeah, he's one of the more respected interior defensive linemen in the league. It's good work for Booker and Party. They go out there and get these reps. You know, a big young rookie, first-round draft pick, Tyler Booker. You want to see how he can handle some of these bigger guys that are known and well respected in the defense.
Ford has been around the league a couple years in a row. You talk about guys like him and then Kobe Turner up on that defensive line. They drafted Ty Hamilton out of Ohio State and then Jared Verse, of course, the defensive rookie of the year last year. Prescott, quick slant, quick release. There's Jonathan Mingo for the score. In coverage was Kobe Durant.
Yeah, and the thing is, we just talked about it in the last segment there. When the Dallas Cowboys receivers have lined up against the DBs of the Rams versus man-to-man coverage and the quarterbacks actually have time, they have been winning their one-on-one matchups, doing a great job of being patient at the line of scrimmage, using their release in terms of their footwork, their hands, get the hands off them, and they're winning their routes and getting big plays.
And that's not just CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens. I mean, that's
Across the
pretty
board.
much across the board in the wide receiver room.
Talking about George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb, these guys are out here in a twin set on the left side, seemingly versus man-to-man.
Dak looks to his right, has time, back of the end zone, far too long for anybody to get there. May have just been getting rid of it at that point.
Yeah.
Couple of words shared back and forth. Looks like Byron Young wasn't happy with something on the Cowboys side.
And that makes it difficult for Dak as well. Whenever you come out and you see that you have man-to-man coverage in the red zone, you know that you have a safety on Ferguson, but you also know that you have the first or second, cornerbacks on CD or George Pickens. Which direction do you go?
And normally I would want to look that direction first, but it opens things up. That's the thing. He is going to look that direction this time. Back of the end zone. Pickens up. Does not come down with it. There were not any feet inbound for 37, so that's unfortunate. Quentin Lake, and there was also a flag at the line of scrimmage. Didn't get any sort of call from the back of the end zone, and they called it a touchdown. Interesting.
We'll take those.
I don't know about that
those.
one.
Oh, you take those. It's okay. There's no instant replay in practice. We'll take it. He called it a touchdown. It's a touchdown, Kyle. Don't you question this referee.
There's not a whole lot of.
They are professionals,
They
Kyle.
are professionals. There wasn't a whole lot of control in that one. Not going to lie to you.
All you need is get those two big toes down.
He did. Pickens got both feet down.
That's all
Lake
that matters.
did not. And now it's on to the twos. Will Greer taking the second team snaps. Keep that in mind. No Joe Milton with the second team in red zone.
That's a good job. I mean, Hunter Lipke didn't get touched until he got down to the 2-yard line. That was a really good hole made by the offensive line. That's what you would like to see get established today. This is going to be a run-first team. You want to see them be dominant, not just have occasional success. You want to see them be dominant on the offensive line so that you can eventually get to some of those bigger passes that you like to get to in your playbook.
TJ Bass out there for the Cowboys on the offensive line, along with Hakeem Adeniji at left tackle. Greer under center. Going to see a lot of good work for the second team as they get ramped up for Saturday's game against this very same Rams roster. Jaden Blue goes to the ground. How excited do you think these running backs are to actually get to the point where they are being tackled and they've got a chance to show what they really have?
Very excited. I mean, it's one thing to thud up and when you're in shells or even if you're in full pads and against your own guys, you're not going to the ground. Running backs need to know what plays they can and can't get out of. So when you start going to the ground, you have a good idea. Did I break that tackle really? Right, and mentally you start being allowed to build confidence.
Little extra pressure brought by the Rams.
Nice cut.
Blue maneuvers around the early pressure in the backfield and then bursts through the hole, picking up at least positive yardage there.
Yeah, and I've been on record saying that Blue has had some of the best vision and patience from that running back group in training camps so far. Even though he is the fastest one back there, he's still showing that patience as if he's a veteran. That's going to pay dividends for him, especially when this preseason comes around. You can expect to see some big plays, not only because of his speed, but because of his ability to sit and let plays really open up for him.
If you're going to have success, you need to be able to run between the tackles in the NFL, and Blue showing that early. First team back up and rolling here in red zone action. One of 3 editions of Training Camp Live that we'll have for you today. Joint practice between the Cowboys and the Rams. Isaiah Stanback, alongside myself, Kyle Youmans. Presented by American Airlines, as always. Williams to the left hip of Dak Prescott out in the shotgun. Dak wants to loft it up, back in zone. And there's Pickens, but they're going to call offensive pass interference. He pushed off.
And it wasn't necessary. He did a good job of getting to the outside. He had room in the upper right-hand corner of the end zone. which is a little extra shove. So the play will get called back, but it wasn't necessary. He could have had the same success on the play without the shove.
It was a good throw. Back pylon.
Perfect
Dak
throw.
Put it on the money. And
no huddle, though. We're back on the line of scrimmage. No time to think
right
about
back
it.
Up to it.
Pickens and CD on the same side again. With same situation we talked about earlier. This time you have all three of the guys to the same side.
Now it's play action. Can Tolbert go to it? Not this time.
See, and unlike the last play where George Pickens did a good job of holding what we call the red line, allowing him to keep that little 3 to 5 yard window towards the sideline so Dak could fade the ball, Tolbert kind of faded his route early, so when the ball was thrown to the upper left-hand corner, he was already almost out of bounds.
And that was Witherspoon in coverage at that point.
Yeah, he's kind of good.
He's played really well.
He's played pretty well.
So 0 for 2 on this drill by the offense as Pickens and Lamb both check out. Hunter Lipke checks in. Dak still at quarterback. Mingo, Luke Schoonmaker, and Tolbert are the receivers in the formation.
Shift to the front.
This is from about the 5 yard line. They go back to Lipke.
Got
Lipke's getting a lot of these red zone touches, and he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he gets the touches and turns them into touchdowns. Uh-oh.
Okay, so that is Terrence Steele, Luke Schoonmaker pushing and shoving.
Oh. Why is it always
the
a little
conversation
guy?
is it's with Kendrick, the corner from the Rams.
You know, Kyle,
nobody's thrown a punch yet. That's what you're trying to avoid.
No punches thrown. I mean, shout out to the O-line for the Dallas Cowboys. But it's always them little cats that always want to start the fights, man. Little Darian Kendrick, cornerback for the Rams.
It's easy for you to say. You're 6'4", 220.
Yeah, but he want to grab Schoonmaker. He's about 117 ounces. He wants to grab Schoonmaker from behind. Go face-to-face. You know, I know there's no fighting, but come on now.
Did you say 117 ounces?
Yeah, ounces. It's always the little guys that want to start the fight. So now he's back on the field. I want to see who lines up against him. It looks like the ones are back out there. I hope they go right at him.
Kendrick is he's at the goal line. He's wearing the number 1 in blue.
Yes, he is.
Officially listed by Isaiah Stanback as 117 ounces on the outside.
That's official.
It's official measurement from the Stanback scale.
So we got Tolbert, CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, that's all ones back out there. Steele, offensive line, all back there. Tyler Smith back at left guard as well.
You got man-to-man over here.
Prescott scans.
Come back.
Left. Had to throw it in the ground. Did you think he had a look there? There was a flag at the line of scrimmage. Full start on the offense is the call. So somebody jumped early.
Yeah, that negates anything that you wanted to do. But some of those play-action plays could take a little bit longer. If you don't have your first look really there at times on a play-action plays down here in the red zone, oftentimes the quarterback has to try to buy some more time and create a time for him to get to his second guy.
Pickens, Lamb, and Tolbert with Ferguson and Williams, and they're going empty backfield. 5 wide, including the running back and tight end.
Nothing.
Prescott rolling, trying to get away. Got it off the fingertips of Lamb, and there was a flag.
Yeah, it's going to be OPI on CD.
Another push off on his part.
Another push off. I think the Rams won that series versus the ones, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looked like it. It's gone back and forth on this field. The defensive field has been kind of back and forth as well.
But you need to see this because this is the only full-speed reps. Not all the way full speed because you're not supposed to tackle.
Sure.
I'll put that in quotations. The full-speed reps that you'll get prior to playing the Philadelphia Eagles on opening night. So you need to know where you stand today so that you can prepare over the next month.
Little read option there from Will Greer. Gets behind Rivaldo Fairweather, who scared up a defender, and they're going to keep going.
That's what I'm talking about, Fairweather.
Fairweather right on top. Continuing to push past the whistle with Cam Lampkin.
Look. And
Fairweather is a rookie here.
And the one person who started is going backwards. You see what I'm talking about, Kyle?
Yeah, he's all the way in the back of the end zone.
It's
Cam
always
Lampkin.
The guys that started are usually the smallest guys on the field, and they usually back away when all the other guys come into it. But there hasn't been a fight yet, though, Kyle. Just shoving.
Just pushing and
We're
shoving.
still staying within the parameters of Coach Schottenheimer's rules.
And I think that's some of this you like. You like some of that
I love
nastiness.
it. I love it. We used to have some brawls. It's not recommended. It's not what
say,
they want anymore.
You're setting a bad example.
No,
there.
I know. It's just you got to hold your own, Kyle. You can't let anybody else push you around.
So here's Greer back in the shotgun again.
Man-to-man again.
Greer
Got him.
backing up. Has to loft it up. There is Flanoy, but he's out of bounds. Ryan Flanoy caught by Cable as he works to the ambulance side.
And it's a really good play, right? But the thing is, you have two guys that are on the left side all really running a quote unquote, screen per se, and you're expecting Flournoy to come all the way from the opposing side to the corner in the end zone, it takes a lot of time. A lot of things have to go right.
Great crowd on hand here for the joint practice. 2 full hours of practice between the Rams and the Cowboys. Here goes Greer again. One tight end, one running back. Brooks on the outside. Right up the middle they go in the ground game. Couple guys on the ground, though. Good stuff there from the Rams defense to get up there.
Rams defense won that period, unfortunately. But it's good for the Cowboys. They need to see it.
Then that's the thing. Like you said, these are reps that are going to build as time goes on, and you're going to build off of the film here.
Yep.
You're going to take it right back to the drawing board as training camp continues, and then you got a game coming up on Saturday with a lot of these guys.
Absolutely. A lot of these guys are these 2s, 3s, everybody else beyond on the depth chart are going to have opportunity to make up for what does take place today. But for the ones, these are very, very important reps that these guys are getting because it's the only real film that these guys are going to have prior to the season.
Now, there is other real film you can check out on the Cowboys Now app and the Cowboys social channels. Training Camp Live with Tommy Yarich and Isaiah Stanback from earlier in practice, and then later in practice it'll be me alongside Nicole Hutchison. So 3 Training Camp Live videos, all presented by American Airlines, all shot by Alex Lilly behind the camera, doing a great job fighting the crowds here. There's a lot of media here. There's a helicopter flying around earlier. Stay up to date on DallasCowboys.com. For Isaiah Stanback, Alex behind the camera, I'm Kyle Youmans. We'll see you next time.